Dr. McCann presented to the Westside Board of Education on Monday night about our budget and our attempt to our desire to balance the budget and the things that we're going to be doing as a district in order to reduce our spending. And this may seem counterintuitive, but one of the ways that we're proposing that we're going to save money on technology is by getting all new technology.
Yeah, so I know just kind of being out and about, I've started to hear a few questions, and I think this podcast is a great place to kind of ask the expert and just kind of throw some of those questions out there, and hopefully we can address some of people's concerns, questions, and just kind of lay bare kind of our thought process behind going through and doing a refresh this upcoming year. And so I guess, Paul, my first question
Oh,
to you is,
I'm the expert?
you are the expert,
Oh, okay.
yes.
The number one expert.
Number one. So I think the first question is, so we are in a budget crunch. Why are we getting brand new devices this year? I mean, it seems like the old ones are still working. You know, why are we getting brand new ones?
Okay, so the story behind that is our current devices, again, are in pretty good shape right now and doing well for us. But the reality is that our devices currently have more resale value in them at this point in time that they'll have at the end of this school year than they will have in 12 additional months at the end of the next school year, when the original plan was to refresh and get rid of our old technology and bring in new technology. So what we're forecasting is this point in time, we can both sell off all of our teacher and student devices, the iPads and the laptops, plus also cash in our last year of Apple warranty. And those things combined will actually, we're forecasting, will be enough to pay off our year 4 lease payment on our Apple lease. So that will retire that payment. Then we will get new devices for students and teachers. And our new lease will actually be about $300,000 a year less in technology costs compared to if we would have continued with the old lease for another year. So by getting new technology, selling off the old stuff while it still has more value, we can actually get new things and actually save about $300,000 a year.
So that's pretty impressive. So we'll finish out what we have, sell that back, get new devices, and end up saving quite a bit of money over the next 4 years, right?
That is correct.
Very cool. So now, without getting into too many specifics, are the types of devices that people have, are those going to stay the same for next year? So if I'm at the middle school and the high school and I'm used to having a MacBook and my kids have MacBooks, am I going to still have a MacBook? You know, if I'm at the elementary and my kids have an iPad, are they still going to have an iPad? Can you speak a little bit to kind of what the thought process was behind that?
Yeah, our goal was to really maintain continuity as much as we can. We want students and teachers to have confidence and not have to be, always trying to find the piece of cheese that's moved if we move from one technology to another. And so we really wanted to maintain as best we can the environment that we've already provided so that people can continue to grow and work to better and more implement technology into their learning and instruction. And so student devices will be iPads of similar size. They'll have larger hard drive space in those iPads. Elementary teachers will also get new iPads just like the students will, like they did in the last refresh. Teachers, we still are planning on getting 13-inch MacBook Airs, and secondary students would still be getting 11-inch MacBook Airs.
Very cool. So we really are being able to keep things where we're at with the great access to technology, but really just finding ways to save money.
Exactly. So it's really, 3 years ago, we just changed a lot of things. We changed Gmail. We talked about getting rid of Blackboard and, all kinds of things we want to let everybody just settle down and relax, and we're keeping the same email, we're keeping Blackboard, keeping the same basic devices. Lynda.com is going to continue. So all of those resources, we just want to give everybody an opportunity to just continue to make great use of those and try to really minimize the changes that we do.
I think that's going to be comforting for a lot of people because change can always be difficult. And so this is kind of nice that we can keep the continuity with what we've had as we move forward. So I think that begs the question, though. I like the idea. I like the fact that, we'll be getting new and updated devices this summer or whenever, that ends up rolling out to people, but in time for next school year. Is there anything that I need to, as a teacher, is there anything that I would need to worry about right now? Is there anything that I need to do right now? Or is this something where I just need to kind of, hold off and wait and more information will be forthcoming? Or can you give any guidance to that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a wait and see. We haven't placed any orders yet. We haven't, signed any lease agreements or anything. So it's still a little bit a work in progress, but we are going to go ahead with the refresh because we really need to save that $300,000. So we will be moving ahead with that with quite certainty. But we just want you to kind of hang on for now. And one of the best thing that you can do in preparation is something that you should always be doing is making sure that you have a good backup. Make sure you are moving documents that are important to you up to your Google Drive and possibly having an external backup drive that you can use a time machine backup. Having those things in place will help things be a lot easier down the road when we're ready to make a transition from your old machine to a new machine.
Cool. So I have a couple more questions here. One that I've just been hearing all throughout this year, even before we announced that we're doing the refresh here, is what's going to happen to the devices? Can I put in a reservation now to buy mine or to buy one of my colleagues' MacBooks or iPads? Is there a process for that, or what's the status on purchasing devices?
That's going to be something I'm just going to have to ask people to be patient and wait and see. In my email that I sent out yesterday to the district, when we do have news about that, whether we're going to be able to sell devices locally, we'll certainly not spend as much time as we did the last time selling locally. We'll probably be selling a large bulk of them to either directly to Apple or to a third-party buyer. But whether we can or can't sell locally, there's some things that are up in the air right now. But I will guarantee you, we will announce those things on the district website publicly. Working with Director of Communications, Brandy Peterson, she'll be announcing any of those things on our district Facebook page. So make sure that you're subscribed to that and subscribe to the district Twitter feed. Make sure that those will be the places where any information about selling those devices what's going to be happening will be done there. So please don't take up our time with questions about this, because in my email kind of jokingly said, early inquiries will be ignored, but I wasn't joking. So just wait and see. As we have decisions made and information available, we'll be putting it on those three at least platforms of information dissemination.
So if I were to just summarize what you said, we're going to be refreshing a year early because we found out that selling devices back now would allow us to kind of renegotiate our finances with Apple, save us about $300,000 a year. And in the process, we'd be getting new devices. But if I'm if I'm a classroom teacher right now, there's nothing that I need to do or worry about outside of just making sure I continue to back things up, put things on Google Drive, and really just kind of sit back, do that, and then wait for more information to come out through the website and through different social media channels.
Yes. One other thing I'd throw in is, please encourage your students and you also to take good care of your devices, because that really helps us as a district. The better shape that the devices are in when we ultimately sell them to whoever we're going to sell them to, the better the quality, the state that the devices are in, the more we'll get from that, and the further we're down the road to paying off our final lease payment. So we always encourage people to take good care of their machines. Don't lose them. Don't, drop them in your bathtub, etc. All the horrible things that can be done to to a device, please take care of them.